The World Health Organization confirms the Delta variant is now the dominant COVID-19 strain in the country. Travel restrictions to 10 countries have been extended until Sunday, September 5. Medical frontliners from several hospitals in Metro Manila will stage a protest today over their unreleased benefits. Senators hit back at President Duterte following the chief executive's rant over the Senate's probe into the government's use of pandemic funds. And the 60th edition of Miss International pageant is once again postponed to next year. Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Opening today's newscast with the World Health Organization confirming that the Delta variant is now the dominant COVID-19 variant in the country. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro gives us the front seat to the story.
COVID-19 continues its record-breaking streak in the country as active cases in some NCR plus areas are exceeding the projections of the Department of Health. In Rizal and Laguna, the number of active cases were more than double the earlier projections. Cavite's numbers were almost just as alarming.
And for Rizal, they had twice the number of active cases at 5,470 versus the 2,118 to 2,494 projected numbers.
Some good news though, NCR and Bulacan's numbers were much lower than projected. NCR's active cases were only a third of the earlier projection. The Octa Research Group says, expect the number of new cases to play between 14,000 to 19,000 per day for the next few days. On Tuesday, the number of new cases momentarily dipped to 13,827, lower than the previous day's record of 22,000 for the whole country. But authorities expect the numbers to climb even higher in September.
If the same pattern will occur this time around, we may see cases peak mid-September.
The World Health Organization has already confirmed that the Delta variant is now the most dominant variant in the country. WHO representative to the Philippines, Dr. Dablinda Abiyansing, noted the findings of the Philippine Genome Center that 7 out of 10 COVID-positive samples were already that of the Delta variant. Abiyansing also confirmed community transmission of the hyper-contagious variant in the Philippines.
The Delta variant has emerged as the dominant variant. With this kind of transmission, with these kinds of numbers, we are in community transmission with the Delta variant.
Verdejeres said increasing cases could also be attributed to our increasing testing capacity that's averaging 67,000 per day. Verdejeres says the rate of severe and critical cases remain at less than 2%. I'm Jacob Lazaro and we are One News.
Despite the latest pronouncement of the WHO, the government says it will stick with its current game plan against COVID-19. In an interview with A Big Story, treatment czar Leopoldo Vega agreed that the Delta variant is now the dominant COVID-19 strain in the country. This as roughly 68% of samples that underwent genome sequencing were Delta cases. Still, Vega is convinced that there's no need to change the government's COVID-19 response.
The game plan is still the same. It's just that we have to intensify our testing, tracing, and isolation, and of course, treatment. And you can see that the number of cases have been scaling up compared with April, but there is a bit difference that we saw in the wave that we saw last April compared with this present one, because the number of, or the percentage of the severe and critical is roughly below 2%. That's 1.86%. And it's not comparable with last April, which the percentage was about 3 to 4%. So I guess the reason for this is the vaccination, especially here in Metro Manila, is really scaled up, and it has protected the community in a sense.
Travel restrictions to 10 countries have been extended until September 5. The travel ban was supposed to end yesterday, but was extended to curb the spread of the Delta variant. This after the country recorded its highest single-day tally of new COVID-19 cases last August 30, over 22,000. Para spokesperson Harry Roque says these travel restrictions will still be imposed on India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. With none of their benefits given as of yet, frontline healthcare workers from the Dr. Jose Fabella Memorial Hospital in Manila will stage a protest later today. This as the country grapples with the effects of the deadly Delta variant. JC Cosico with the details.
Workers of the state-run Dr. Jose Fabella Memorial Hospital held a noise barrage during their lunch break. They joined the growing cry for the release of the much-needed special risk allowances.
Asan ang benepisyo ng mga health workers? Pakinggan niyo kami!
The president had ordered the health department to disburse the SRAs in 10 days, the deadline being Tuesday. And yet, Fabella workers got nothing. They minced no words in calling out Health Secretary Francisco Duque and even demanded his resignation.
Asan na ang konsensya mo? Huwag kang magtulog-tulugan! Huwag kang magtago sa ilalim na sayang ni Duterte! Na inililigtas ka sa lahat ng kasalanang ginawa ninyong mga taga-DOH!
Fabella's Union President Margarita Esquivel also called for the SRAs of janitors and security guards, as well as everybody's meal, accommodation, and transportation allowances.
Nagpagod ang mga tao at saka halos puyat at sila yung mga naka-expose sa COVID.
In the DOH latest report, a chunk of the 311 million peso budget for the SRA had already been downloaded to regional offices. More than 273 million had already been disbursed to private and public hospitals. The remaining 74.5 million pesos is up for distribution. The DOH said some 20,000 healthcare workers will benefit from this tranche. It asked for everybody's patience, saying it requested additional funds from the budget department. The agency also called on hospitals to submit a list of healthcare workers who have yet to be compensated. DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said their SRAs would depend on their respective shifts.
So hindi po yan magkakapare-pareho na across the board bibigyan natin ng 5,000 kasi hindi po yun ang sinasabi ng polisiya.
But for the employees of Fabella Hospital, the fight is not over. They plan to join protests. They're also looking into filing cases against Duque. For News 5, JC Cosico, We Are One News.
Senators are now at odds with President Duterte over questionable contracts in the government's pandemic spending. Some even go as far as hinting at an investigation into the chief executive. Camille Samonte with a story.
Siya ang nanalo sa Tokaton champion. Puro daldal. Kanya ang tanong, kanya yung sagot, at siya magsabi kung mali ka o hindi.
President Rodrigo Duterte went on a no-holds-barred personal tirade against Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairperson Richard Gordon. The senators' panel is probing the Budget Department's purchase of overpriced medical items during the pandemic. The corporation, which bagged the 8.7 billion peso contract in question, was formally a firm with only minimal capital and no prior bidding record. It is now being linked to former economic advisor Michael Yang and former Budget Undersecretary Lloyd Lau. For Gordon, the president should be scrutinizing this instead.
Hindi. Dapat bigyan ng atensyon ng presidente. Uy, Lau, in-appoint kita dyan. Bakit ang laki-laki ng mga binibili mo at hindi mo may paliwanag sa Blue Ribbon? Sagutin mo yan. Hindi dapat nasabihin niya. Hindi, sasabihin niya, mga tao, mga kababayan, huwag niyong pakinggan ang Blue Ribbon. Huwag niyong pakinggan ang Senado.
Lau is now being linked to the president's closest aide, Senator Bongo. Gordon said they would investigate Go and even Duterte if they have to. But Go is not taking this lightly.
Handa po akong magpaimbestiga. Wala po akong tinatago. Wala po akong kinakatakutan. Mas mabuting malaman ng tao ang katotohanan para matapos na rin po ang haka-haka mula dyan kay Lau na yan.
He also challenged Gordon to inhibit himself from inquiries involving PhilHealth. Gordon's Philippine Red Cross has a multi-million memorandum of agreement with the state insurer.
Hindi ba may conflict of interest na isa sa iniimbestigahan mo ay katransaksyon ng organisasyong pinamumunuan mo? Nagtatanong lang po, Mr. President.
But Gordon countered Senator Go's allegation, saying that there's a proper committee to discuss the issue.
Hindi po ako lumapit sa gobyerno. Ang gobyerno ang lumapit sa amin.
Gordon believes that the series of tirades being thrown against him is a clear attempt to divert the public's attention from findings in Blue Ribbon hearings. For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Miss International is canceling its 2021 edition. In a statement, International Cultural Association chairperson Akemi Shimomura said they had to cancel this year's competition due to health and safety issues. That's on top of the ongoing global impact caused by the pandemic. Shimomura apologized to all participants, as well as the pageant supporters, for the cancellation, and she added that the 60th Miss International Beauty Pageant is scheduled to be held in fall of 2022. But not all hope is lost for pageant fans. That's because Miss Grand International 2021 will be pushing through. MGI released a teaser video for its 2021 competition to excite fans all over the world. Miss Grand International is set to be held in Phuket, Thailand. Here are the stories to watch out for later today. More medical frontliners are set to stage walkout protests today over unreleased benefits. LPG prices have increased by as much as 65 centavos per kilo today. And it's 115 days before Christmas. The so-called Christmas Factory of Manila opens today. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.